And we are back, going into our third hour of Dungeon World. Hi, everyone. So, we left off with, some skeletons, and they tried to strangle Zed, and it was a whole big thing. What do you do?
Yep, so Zed should, I believe, have just got finished applying the bandage to himself. Is
Yes.
that right?
Zed has finished bandaging himself from where the skeleton clawed at him, and Estrelli has just retrieved his rapier from the shattered remains of the coffin.
And I put my powerful, magical anti-undead amulet back in my pocket.
Polished stone, but yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, I guess we should continue exploring. That seems about right.
Did anyone search the rest of these coffins now that we know that the undead are gone?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Because
Make
if
sure
the
there's
main leader gets buried with his riches, maybe these little plebes got buried with theirs, and make get like one coin out of it.
Yeah.
Let me just say, maybe we should not disturb the undead and steal all their possessions.
See, I don't know about that. I feel like they don't really need it. They're skeletons.
Let the record show I was against this.
So, who is rifling through the coffins?
That's me. I think.
Okay. You, rifle through the coffins. You, feel around in there. And you feel like cobwebs and dust and bone fragments, but you don't really find anything valuable.
Okay, that's fine. Yep, I think onward to perhaps this.
I think before that, it's time to play a small song. I take out my violin, and I strum up a ditty to help inspire and invigorate these weary troops.
Choose an ally and an effect.
I've done it to Olivia like 3 times now. I think I'll try for Zed this time, and the effect will be 1d4 forward to damage.
Okay.
So wait, I have a question before you do that.
It's too late.
Can you stack that? Oh, you already did it.
No, you cannot stack that.
Okay, so we're not going to be going up against skeletons doing d6 plus 2d4 damage. That's
Wait till my level up.
So, let me go ahead and look at the Bard page and see what I get to do here. Zed, go ahead and mark down that you have plus 1d4 forward to damage.
Where exactly would I mark that down at?
I don't know. Wherever.
I'll just put it in the chat.
Okay, that works. So, as you are playing your violin, and you close your eyes as you play, because you feel this moment with the music. And when you open your eyes again after the spell has been cast, you look towards Zed, and then you look towards Olivia as Olivia's digging through this, the still intact coffin where the skeleton was. And on the ground, you see the bones start to twitch.
Oh,
I
dear.
play harder.
And
This is off.
the bones start to roll together, and they start to coalesce on the ground, and then they start popping and snapping into place as the skeleton reforms. And it's going straight towards Olivia.
I tell it. Stop my creation. You serve me now.
Olivia, what do you do?
Is it possible for me to shoot at it with an arrow, or is it too close?
It's too close. You don't think you'd have enough time.
That's fine. In that case, I would like to... take out my. What is my other weapon?
I believe it's a short
Is it
sword.
a short sword? Short sword. Yeah, short sword. I'm gonna short sword the skeleton. Badly,
Okay, so
with my -1
first,
strength.
I need you to roll to defy danger with your dexterity as the skeleton lunges at you.
So if that's the case, Can
Well,
I defy danger to get away and then shoot him?
Yeah, that's the plan. Like, if you're basically
No.
acting under fire. Oh, well,
Like, if I'm gonna defy a danger anyway, can I defy
here's
danger
the thing,
by, like,
though. Here's what
backing
you
up?
decided to do. You decided to pull out your sword to stab him, but the skeleton's faster than you. So you're defying to duck out of the way to get the stab in. So that's how this is working.
Isn't that what
Okay, but don't
hack and slash
don't
is
I
anyway?
don't I find out what I need to roll before I decide?
Well, the thing.
Like, can't I say here's what I'm gonna do,
presented.
and you say the roll is this,
Here's.
and then I can say, oh, I don't want to do that then?
Okay, so I was telling you there was a skeleton coming at you. You said that you wanted to hack and slash it, basically. And the skeleton was already lunging at you. And so maybe I didn't make that clear. So I was basically trying to figure out how do you avoid this danger. So if there's a skeleton lunging at you, do you want to avoid the danger or do you want to hack and slash it? Like, do you want to try to get out of the way so you can use your
Yeah,
bow?
I
Okay,
do.
then
in
go
that
ahead
case.
and defy danger with your dexterity.
Okay.
That's fine.
Let's see. Already close weapon. Dexterity. All right.
Okay.
That is a partial success.
So you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. So basically, what happens is what happened in this conversation. You have a moment of indecision. Do I want to duck out of the way and get my bow? Or do I want to pull out my short sword? And you fumble with your weapons. And you can either, if you get out of the way, you have to drop your bow. Or you can take the hit and take your bow with you.
Can I choose at this time to try to defend Olivia?
What, with the defend action?
Yeah.
Has never been rolled so far in this campaign. Yeah, I'll drop the bow and get out of the way. I think that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like since we're in the middle of a hard choice, I need her to make that choice. So, but if you see her being attacked at a later point, you can definitely jump in and at her defense. Okay.
Okay.
So, Olivia, you lose your hold on your bow as you kind of tumble and roll out of the way. The skeleton stands in between you and your bow. What do you all do?
Well, I do have a magic medallion, which we had.
I think that's probably a golem medallion, though.
And to be fair, that is current. Oh, Australia, did you give that back to Zed? Because you're the one who picked that up on the way down.
Or do you already have it and you can use that one to try to punch with?
Well, I'll try anything once. No. I have it right now. If that asks, I can toss it to him, I suppose. I don't know how that fits into the timeline here.
And now, on the note of watching the skeleton reassemble, did parts that were previously broken off, like, the hole in its head and whatnot, did those reassemble as well, or?
I mean, it looks like it's still currently, like, reforming itself. So it's, like, in... Not, like, more than a half-formed state, but it's not at 100% yet. So, like, you think if you left it, it would reform to how you found it.
So we could grab its leg bones and hide him.
Well, I mean, it's got its leg bones. It might be missing a few toes. The hole that was punched into its head has not reassembled yet.
Well, if no one else is going to do anything, I'll try to stab the thing with my rapier.
Okay. Go ahead and roll hack and slash with your strength.
Hey, good job.
You can deal your damage at your option. You can deal an extra 1d6, but suffer an attack from the enemy.
Well, this thing was uppity. It refused to obey my commands. I will attack it twice.
Okay. All right. So you stab your rapier into this thing, and you get it at such an angle that you're able to start wrenching bones off of its rib cage and start to break it apart. And as you're struggling with it, trying to like destroy its spine and get it broken all apart again, its claws rake at you. So please roll 1d6 damage and take that much damage.
Plus 1d4?
No.
Okay.
He's died since getting that
Oh,
inspiration.
and
it's now back.
its claws just rake into your leather armor, but your armor protects you.
Nice.
Wow. Zed looks over at Olivia and asks whether or not she has a mortar and pedestal available in her adventurer's kit.
Okay, but wait, is the skeleton still up?
No, it's down.
Okay.
Australia
Good.
has torn it to pieces with his rapier.
Do I have a mortar and pestle? Unfortunately, I did not bring that with me today. A mortar and pestle.
Shame.
It wouldn't be something in an adventurer's kit anyway.
I mean,
It
it
would
could
be.
be. Like, you can use it to make food out of, like, weird items like acorns.
I like that
That's
slow
fresh.
blink.
Yeah. Olivia probably has owned a mortar and pestle and has used it for that purpose, but just doesn't have it with her right now.
Well,
It's
regardless,
like-
I start slowly grinding my feet and crushing the bones of this skeleton.
I take a couple of the rib bones and I put them in my bag.
Okay.
Good.
That-
Now they can just stab you in the back whenever they want.
So, Australia, you step on some of the bones and break them. You aren't really able to grind or crush them to much effect because bones are fairly strong. But you are able to break some of the bones.
Well, we're in
Even
a
brittle century-old
You
bones?
might be able to smash them with your like shatter them with your improvised metal club.
cavern.
Oh, I don't care that much.
No.
Okay.
We're in a cavern with rocks. Just if we really wanted to, you just
Here's the thing,
grab a
though.
rock.
Like, if it can reassemble itself, does it really care if the pieces are powder
That's
or
my
bone?
that's my
Like,
thought
they can
too.
just like recoalesce even if they're powder. I would think.
Oh,
The only real way to stop these creatures is to lock them into something like a coffin or something like that.
no.
Unfortunately, we destroyed the coffin. Well, we destroyed one coffin. We can put all the bones into the other coffin and like make it difficult to open somehow.
Instead of rib bones, Zed grabs some of the spinal discs, specifically the ones that would hold its like shoulder blades in place.
Hey, that's a good call.
Okay. You
Yes.
grab some of the vertebrae from the skeleton.
Yay!
At this point, I would probably mention to Olivia and Zed that if they're really so determined on disturbing the dead and getting loot, that sarcophagus up north is the one they want to be going for.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think that we should clear the rest of the area first, because I believe that if there's a super skeleton in there, they'll probably summon all the remaining skeletons to come fight us. So if we can destroy or disable them before that, I think that would really make it a lot easier to fight that guy.
We will have a collection of vertebra.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
I think we should go around and go into the next passageway.
So, the south one? Okay.
Yeah.
So, you enter that passageway, and it's quite narrow compared to the one that you were just in. You're only able to walk in through it single file. But once you're into the main cavern area, it does expand out a little bit, and you see 2 more coffins.
How does fall damage work in this game?
I don't know.
Is there such a thing as
I
fall
like the way
damage?
you think.
If we carried the box to the top of the stairs and dropped it down the well.
Who's carrying this thing?
I don't know.
That would be extremely risky.
And
I mean,
heavy.
you're talking about carrying a possibly animated skeleton held together only by rotting wood up
And
a
we're gonna
spiral
walk up a staircase with him and hope he doesn't pop out halfway and just push us over.
Yeah,
that
that might not be
sounds
good.
like a terrible plan.
Are there
I
any
say-
large rocks around?
You don't really see any. It looks like this cavern has been fairly well cleared to serve as their burial chambers.
Now, would you say that a skeleton in like an unanimated skeleton inside of its crate is defenseless? If I wanted to just like
These aren't
Just immediately.
unanimated though. Like we were
Right,
able
but, like-
to hear them scratching.
like these skeletons are not currently moving. Is that
I would
accurate?
say just leave them alone. Look around, see if there's anything else of any use in the cavern, and just walk
Here's
away.
the thing, though. I have a strong feeling that when we open the necromancer sarcophagus, that will animate the other remaining zombie skeletons. If we haven't destroyed them or disabled them, and we don't want to fight him and also every other skeleton down here at the same time.
My issue with that though is that you're not able to call a shot because you can't see it. So you don't know where you're shooting.
Yeah, maybe.
They might have put the skeletons in there upside down.
All right. So, do I remember passing by any large stones in the other cavern or anything? Just set it on top of the coffin and walk away.
No, the thing is about this is that like everything has been fairly well cleared. Like even though they're caverns, they're fairly bare of anything except for these coffins and then that sarcophagus. If you wanted to find something heavy, you'd probably have to go upstairs and lug it all the way down.
Yeah. Forget all of that. I'm just gonna walk away. I'm heading down the next passage. I want to see what's in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it can't hurt to see what all is down here before we start doing any more things.
Okay. So to the south, you see another cavern with two coffins in it.
All right, and peek down here.
The same thing. Another cavern, two
Yeah.
more coffins.
All right. Well, I mean, if we wanted to spend our time smashing up the undead, we could, or we could just go for the big sarcophagus.
It really does seem like if we go for the big sarcophagus, we're gonna get flanked by 6 more skeletons. So we need, if we don't smash them, we need to find some way to prevent them from coming after us.
Let's take the big sarcophagus and draw that out and then close the door behind us.
That's not bad. Is it like potentially carryable? Is it made of wood?
It's
Or
stone.
draggable?
It's stone, and it looks like it's like made out of the same stone that the staircase is. Like it looks like that's all one fixture.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't believe? I mean, Australia was the only one who examined it in detail, and Australia wouldn't think that you would be able to move it. That the only way to get at it would be to either lift the lid or to somehow take like a chisel and hammer and break it off.
And even then, we'd have to carry a giant stone sarcophagus.
And then you'd have to somehow carry a giant stone sarcophagus with whatever's inside of it and then drag it through these caverns and fit it through that door. Correct.
Yeah.
So totally doable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what I would like to do is just go get heavy things from upstairs, bring them down, and put them on top of all the other coffins.
You said the wood was not rotted because it's not damp in here?
Yes.
So, like, does it seem like the wood could contain the skeleton if it couldn't open the top?
You're not sure. You don't know enough about the undead to make that kind of determination.
All right. Does it potentially look like we might be able to cause controlled cave-ins, knock down parts of the rock in the ceiling, like right about here-ish, or here-ish.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, in my
Okay,
adventuring
before-
kit, I did bring this TNT with me, so
No,
Before anyone starts on the subject of bringing this whole cave possibly down on their heads, I'm going to start heading towards the other sarcophagus because it sounds like we're out of ideas.
Yeah, we're out of ideas. Either we're going to be fighting 6 skeletons all at once, or we're just going to have to be fighting the one from the sarcophagus.
So what have you
And
decided?
he might not even he might have been like actually just dead. They're not necessarily going to resurrect
yeah,
their old chancellor.
I found that to be unlikely that a necromancer can really die. Although, I mean, I guess if he was still animated, why would they bury him?
Yeah.
That would be a bit silly. If he's still, like, just kind of doing his thing as a necromancer, why does he need to be in a coffin?
And they wouldn't show him the respect of burying him with all his treasures while simultaneously desecrating his corpse and reanimating it and just having him sit in his coffin.
That's potentially true. Okay, in Dungeon World, there's a mechanic for multiple enemies that you're fighting at once, but I don't remember what it is.
I think they just get like they convey a bonus to damage or something. Let me take a look.
That sounds about right.
I'm trying to find that real quick. But yeah, it's not quite as bad as like they're not all gonna like make a move against you. It's that yeah. So it's not gonna be like multiple attacks against you. So it's not as quite as dangerous as you all are thinking. I'm trying to find that though, just so I can read it off, but I mean, to be fair, I could run it that way. Depends on how like deadly I want this to be. So like definitely don't throw caution to the wind.
Yeah, the thing that the party is worried about right now, the thing that they're all afraid of, that's stopping anyone from being able to progress forward, is worrying that when we open the big sarcophagus, the 6 other remaining skeletal animations will suddenly wake up and come at us. All at the same time. So we'll be fighting a boss and 6 other ones. We have no method of getting rid of the 6 smaller ones unless we attempt to engage them all in combat one at a time. So it's either a time-consuming, possibly deadly battle with the 6, which may not even be required, or possibly a giant battle with all 6 at the same time, plus the big guy. Is there any kind of check that we can make to help make the situation a little bit more clear to ease the party's indecision, or
Would someone like to discern realities?
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Discern realities on the sarcophagus and see.
Or not just the sarcophagus. You can discern realities
guess
on
the
like
whole
this
situation.
whole area. Yeah. So who would like to discern realities?
Australia is already rolled.
Australia has already begun.
All right, you may ask one question from the discern realities list.
What is about to happen if I open that sarcophagus?
I'm trying to figure out how you would have that information.
I mean, he is a bard who knows about the
Yeah,
devil
I'm just
undead.
trying to...
So,
You remember a part of the legend that you weren't thinking about before, but as you're thinking about opening this sarcophagus, you remember that in the legend, it says that if the sarcophagus is ever opened, the legions of the damned will rise, and there's something on the edge of your brain. You can't quite remember it, but some task that needs to be completed. But you can't quite remember all of it.
a task that needs to be completed.
I
I have
pass
an
that along.
amulet and a mysterious stone.
I try putting the mysterious stone into the amulet.
You can't. You press
I
them
tried it.
you press them
It-
together and nothing happens.
Is there like a mysterious stone-shaped hollow in the sarcophagus?
There is not.
We also have a magic scroll that hasn't been identified either. But that could just be a normal spell with loot, or it could be something pertinent to the quest. We don't know.
I'm beginning to think this stone might be worthless.
Well, we know that it's magic. I think. Do we know that?
The magical shape that Zed saw on the top floor, it was a little bit hard to make out because the auras were so close together, but he thinks it's about the right size and shape.
Okay, so that's fine. Okay, one thing is I looked it up, and it's you roll a dice for all of them and take the highest with multiple monsters
Okay.
at the same time. So honestly, that would actually probably be safer than fighting each of the 6 skeletons individually and taking a hack and slash partial success damage from each of them.
Or we could just go fight all the 6 and then rest up, or fight a couple, then rest up.
That is a thing that is worth keeping in mind, is that like these
Like,
things are not going anywhere.
Yeah, right now we have the initiative. They're not popping out of these coffins on their own. Otherwise, we'd already be probably attacked and murdered.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having this decision if there was a horde of zombies of skeletons attacking us right now.
So we saw no places for a magical stone or the medallion to be placed.
Well, I mean, the medallion was accepted by the hand of the Iron Golem, and it allowed you passage to the top floor. So
AKA, that key has been used.
Yeah.
You believe you could use that key again if you wanted to ascend to the top of the tower, should you want to. As far as the stone, you haven't really found a use for it, I guess. Like you
All
seem
right,
to
well-
also be thinking that it's a key, and if so, you haven't really found its keyhole. Assuming that it is even a key.
All right. It's so metagamey, but I really want to level up.
Let's
Is
at least
anybody in the
make-
party injured?
Barely.
No, not injured, but
Let's at least take
if,
on
if
a
we're
couple.
if we all feel like we've learned something from our fights so far, and reflecting on that could help us in the next fights. I don't think it's that metagamey to take a rest and reflect on our experiences.
I think we should
I
take
don't
on
know.
like at least 2 more before we rest.
Okay, that seems reasonable. One thing is these 2 are a different color. The little icons, the top 2, are they actually different, or is that just the icons?
Oh,
It's
they're just vampires.
That's just the icons. They look
Okay.
the same as the
They're
other
more or less the
coffins.
same. Okay, that's fine. Let's see about fighting these skeletons, maybe.
Okay, we go up there and we pick a fight with the one on the left.
do we all get like an attack of opportunity against it?
I mean,
before,
that there are no attacks of opportunity in this game.
We're already going to get a free attack on it, and the only way it's going to hurt us is if we do hack and slash as our free attack. So if we prioritize volley and magic missile, I mean, we can still get attacked if we fail, obviously. But the problem with hack and slash is you take damage even on a partial success.
I
You
hack and
don't.
slash.
The thing is, you don't always take damage. It just means I get to make an attack against you, whatever that
Okay,
means.
yeah,
Like
that's true.
that was me trying to strangle Zed with a skeleton. He didn't take
Yeah,
any
I guess
damage
was
from
a
that.
hack and slash on that. Okay.
Zed is going to be
Australia's doing something.
Okay,
What is Australia?
he was hack and slashing. He said that earlier.
Okay.
So
I
are
got
you? How are you hack and slashing? Are you trying to stab your rapier through this coffin?
No. This time I want to uncover the mysteries of the medallion.
Wait,
So
what?
I take some.
Well,
I've
I don't think
already-
you're going to be able to use the medallion to smash the.
I have already been able to discern that the black magic stone has powerful anti-undead properties. My reasoning here is a medallion would also have similar properties, being from the same tower.
But
So
I don't think you're realistically going to be able to smash a wooden coffin.
well, let me just
with your
say, I
hands.
see the look on my poor DM's face, and it seems forlorn. I will grab my rapier and I will stab
I mean,
into.
if
You,
you
you could
wanna,
also
if you
you could
wanna,
also go for a smash.
if you wanna take the medallion and punch the coffin, you can.
No, that being said, I won't use my rapier. I'll just literally just try to just punch through the medallion, or punch not through the medallion, through the coffin, in the spot where I assume the skeleton skull will be. Because
Okay.
the coffin looks pretty weak, right?
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
Have you
fine.
ever
I'll take
seen?
my rapier and try to stab through the strong coffin lid, where I think the skeleton's head would be.
Oh my gosh.
This campaign is quickly becoming a mess.
uh,
Well, I thought these were old, weak, brittle, dry coffins.
I mean, I said that they looked fairly sturdy earlier.
Yeah, they're not
You also
rotted,
said
unlike
brittle.
everything else in the tower.
Okay.
Dry.
I mean, personally, I'd be happy just to get some nails and nail all the coffin shut.
Okay, so Australia,
Is that in an adventurer's pack?
You know what?
Carpenter's
you stab your rapier through the coffin. Please roll your damage. Okay. So, as you pull your rapier back, suddenly the lid flies off at the coffin. Suddenly the lid of the coffin flies off of the coffin and towards you. What do? It's about to smack you right in the head.
I lift up my arms and I try to block it.
Okay, will you please defy danger with your constitution? Okay, you are able
Hey.
to absorb the blow as the skeleton rises from the coffin and it starts lunging for you. What do you do? Or what do you all do? Not just Australia. What do the rest of you do, actually?
Can I intercept with arrows?
You can try.
Okay.
Force bolts. Zed casts more force bolts.
Okay,
All right, let's do the
Olivia.
arrows. We got a 9.
Choose one.
Okay, I have it's ammo. Oh, let me just look it up.
You can either put yourself into danger, you can expend
put myself
ammo,
in.
or you can take what you can get.
I'll put myself into danger
Okay,
as I shoot this dude.
go ahead and roll your damage.
5 damage.
And that's with red helping, right?
Yeah, red is helping.
Okay, so you shoot at this thing's knee and chip part of the bone, and red lunges in and starts gnawing at its ankle, trying to rip its foot off. But you had to step close to the other coffin to do it. And
Okay.
suddenly that one bursts open as well. And
Okay.
you feel bony hands gripping into your legs and digging in. Can you please roll 1d6 plus 1d4 forward and take that much damage? But you will be able to subtract your armor off of that.
Okay.
So you take 3 damage as the skeleton rakes its claws into your legs.
Okay.
The other skeleton is also still standing. Zed, I think you wanted to cast a spell?
Yes, more magic missiles.
At which skeleton? There's one engaged
Don't
with
forget
this.
yours are buffed up, so it might be better to do the strong one.
Yeah, the first one that was after Doc's originally.
That wouldn't be the strong one.
It hasn't attacked yet.
It's the one that's taken damage so far. I hit
these
one
are
with my rapier, the other one's full
The
health.
other skeleton.
Oh,
is the
right,
top?
right. You were saying since I'm buffed up, I should hit the one with the most HP,
Yes.
not attack the one that has the most damage potential, which is the one that's.
I mean,
already
I guess
buffed.
that's actually a reasonable interpretation, also.
You
So-
can strike whichever one you wish. So which one would you
Well,
like to strike?
that's that's if my spell even goes off. I have to roll.
Sure,
intelligence.
but you have to pick a target and then go ahead and roll to cast a spell. So which one are you trying to cast magic missile at?
The one by Hazel.
Okay. All right.
Button.
Roll your damage plus 1d4 forward, so that would be 3d4.
We failed to roll yet today?
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, Australia has failed one roll. Everything else has been a success.
Yeah, you've been pretty solid. Okay. So you see, as your force bolts crash into this coffin and this skeleton, you see its bones go scattering as you destroy it.
Excellent.
Australia is still faced with the skeleton that has risen from the other coffin. What do you all do? It's moving towards him.
I think at this point, I will take that coffin lid that was thrown at me, dropping my rapier in the process. Take the coffin lid and try to ram right into the skeleton,
Okay.
trying to smash it against the wall.
Go ahead and roll your hack and slash with your strength. All right. Go ahead and roll your damage. At your option, you may take an extra 1d4 damage, but then it will get to make an attack against you.
An extra 1d4 or an extra 1d6?
What?
Oh, extra 1d6. I attack twice and I'm a bard.
What?
I don't think it's attacking twice. It's just extra damage.
Oh, was it only supposed to be 1d4?
Oh, did you choose to take extra damage?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So, you smack at it, and what happens is that as you are smacking it into the wall and beating it and trying to break it apart,
I was planning on ramming it into the wall, but okay.
you do that,
A
and
little
it,
violent, but okay.
it's violent because I mean it's not just one hit. This is narrative, so like these damages that you're doing, they're representing like an ongoing battle rather than just like, oh, I one shot that type thing.
So he rams it into the wall with the coffin lid, then the coffin lid falls away and he continues to beat and punch and
yeah, as
brutalize
it tries to claw at him, and what happens is that it gets a grip on your shirt with its hand, and you keep beating it, and the arm breaks off, but the arm like does like a thing, like an Addams Family thing, and like crawls up you.
I bite it.
Well, this is you taking your extra, like it's making an attack against you because you dealt extra damage. So as you're dealing your extra damage and like extra damage,
I don't notice this claw climbing my shoulder.
It climbs up you and digs into your neck, and I need you to roll 1d6 plus 1d4 forward and take that much damage.
You just had to take that extra bit of damage and give it an attack with the forward. If you had just killed it with one attack, you would have been fine.
You don't understand. I was taking a coffin lid and ramming this thing into the wall.
But that doesn't mean that you don't get to not take damage.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm responding to Buhamut. Buhamut saying that I shouldn't have tried to deal the extra damage. No, this is a strong attack. It requires the extra damage.
So please roll 1d6 plus 1d4 forward. And that'll be minus your armor, so you take 3 damage.
Okay.
The skeleton arm is still hanging there, but the life has gone out of it. But it's still dug into your neck.
I reach my head over, bite it, and throw it to the ground.
Okay, there is a small, like, little spray of blood droplets as you, jerk it out of your neck with your teeth. And you spit it onto the ground.
Well, that's suitably epic. I take out a little notebook and write notes for a future song.
I mean, I feel like we can do that again. I feel like we didn't get super beaten up. Do you want to just take on more skeletons now? I mean, steal their vertebra and make sure that they can't reassemble.
I thought we were also taking shoulder blades.
No,
Well,
the vertebrae that holds up their arms.
Oh, okay.
Right, like,
So
so
if they
there's
wanna
nothing for the
reassemble,
shoulder blades to attach to.
They can, but they won't have the components necessary to attach their arms.
Yeah, they can either have their arms walk around. Here's the thing, though. Well, I guess without the vertebra, they can't attach their head either.
I feel like I should point out that they're not really held together by joints or anything. They're held together by magic.
Right, but the magic still tries to assemble them in a certain pattern, and if that pattern's disrupted, then
Okay.
It's just a little something that may help.
Like they could just float there, kind of. You know what I'm
She
saying?
just has a little gun, and she
Okay.
keeps on shooting
Here's-
little bullets
here's
into
maybe
the
what we can
that
do.
is our hope.
We can take all of the bones and put them
And make a
somewhere else,
stew.
like really far away.
Hazel, do you have a cooking pot in your adventurer's kit?
No, I don't have that. I don't think.
Take all the long major bones, put them together, all facing the same way like a bundle of sticks, and tie them together with a rope. There you go.
Yeah.
Here's
what I feel. I feel if
human,
we-
but
if
that
we
still
take
counts
the head-
cannibalism.
If we take the head and the arms, I feel like they'll be unable to convincingly attack us.
Unless they just bite and claw at us with those head and arms that we're holding.
No, we wouldn't hold them. We would take all of the heads and arms and bring them to like
Oh,
some
tie them up.
sturdy box somewhere in the place.
Why
And
don't you
then
just
just
take some rope and
really
just
weight
tie
that
them
down?
together through their eye sockets?
I don't know about that.
I don't feel like your rope is thin enough. It's sturdy rope.
Well, what I had said earlier was take all of their bones, bundle them together like a bundle of sticks, and then tie them all together with the rope.
I mean, you
But the
could
thing
do
is, they
that.
could. They
But
they
this is
sort of
the
just
whole
floated
point.
away.
It's not going to work. Or if it does, it's just through the DM's graces. So we should just move on and see what happens. I mean, for right
I
now,
mean-
they're dead. They'll stay dead for the moment. And if they were going to come to life, they were going to come to life anyway. I don't think there's any preventative thing that we can do to stop them. We just have to go take care of them first.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's a bit metagamey, but I kind of just want to get going. You know what I mean? And we're spending so much time debating possible ways of stopping something that we probably can't stop in the first place.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've taken on one set. How much? How beaten up is everybody? Did we take a large amount of damage on that fight, or no?
I'm still pretty
I
good to
took
go.
3,
All right,
That's
so we
probably
can
took
take
3.
on another pair then.
Probably. I mean, we might still die if we get really unlucky, but
Well,
You know-
this is an adventure.
Running away
yeah,
is always an
that's just how
option
it's gonna
too.
be. But the thing is, there's loot in that coffin, probably.
You don't understand,
there's
Michelle.
loot in the coffin.
Greed.
No, I understand. I've been there.
I mean, Olivia's quite happy at this point that there actually were some undead in this place. She was a little bit worried that there was only going to be golems at first, and that was not going to be a good situation.
And as far as we know, we've gotten like barely anything for loot so far.
I mean, that one gem that we got is quite valuable. It's like 140 gold.
And you got a lot
Which
of magical
in this
items.
game is a lot. Yeah. Although it's unclear what we're supposed to actually do with this spyglass. how this is actually beneficial
Well,
to us.
See, that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to level up, because on my next level, which I have
Yeah,
enough
so-
experience to pretty much do 2 levels now.
Yeah, let's fight another set of zombies. And
Skeletons.
Skeletons. That's what I meant.
Okay, this
what
one
what
over
if
here.
this time I started off with an arrow through the coffin?
Fine.
How about that? That might be better.
Or, and while you hit one with an arrow, I can do magic missile to the other coffin.
And I'll stand
like
ready to defend
simultaneous.
whoever draws the most attention.
That seems reasonable.
Um,
I mean,
I was
Go
just okay. No, go ahead. You finish your thought, and then I'll. Yeah.
I was gonna say that if I'm doing the arrow plan, I can really stand like here and get this arrow in, maybe, or maybe like I can snipe him around the corner. Hopefully, maybe.
I mean, what I'm gonna say is, you feel like the wood is strong enough that you're not sure. Like, even if your arrow would probably stick into the coffin, but it probably wouldn't break.
Oh, but
through.
it might not pierce it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hold on, wait
Okay.
a minute. Olivia, you have fire starting equipment, right?
Totally. That's totally. But here's the thing, though. I doubt that skeletons will care about fire. Like, it might char the bones, but that's not gonna you know what I mean? Like, the bones will just turn black, and then we'll have a flaming skeleton. And that's not any better of a situation, I don't think. Like, normally the way fire causes damage is it, like, burns the skin and muscles and, like, so forth. I feel like lighting a bone monster on fire is not... Like, there's nothing to catch on fire. And also the smoke will choke us because we're in sort of an enclosed space. I don't think lighting them on fire is a good idea.
Okay.
Why don't we go for a force missile activation on one of them, and then we'll deal with the rest from there. That seems maybe good.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I'll
not
stand
sure.
ready to defend Zed.
So
I
is
mean,
is the idea
Go
that
ahead.
you're going to be standing at the entrance of this kind of cavernous hallway and casting your spell at this guy?
Yes.
Okay. And then
And
Estrelli.
potentially Olivia with an arrow if she
Yeah,
feels that
I have
they
an
can do
arrow
it.
ready in case
Okay.
it survives and charges at us.
Okay, so and then we have Estrelli kind of standing here to act as like
Meat shield.
tank. Yeah.
Tank, yeah.
Bard tank. Okay.
Ooh, could I be holding the coffin lid
Oh,
as
hey.
a shield?
That's not that unreasonable.
I mean, kind of. It's not really going to be able to move with you, but you can hold it up against you, like for.
For one attack at least?
Yeah. I mean, you can have it propped up against you, but there's really no place to grip it to hold it like a shield.
Okay, never mind.
All right, so I'm rolling for my magic missile then.
Yes. So go ahead and roll plus your intelligence. Solid. Roll your damage.
Zed is just not. Zed is just unstoppable today. I'm
Yeah.
not getting very much experience today, but you know.
He doesn't really need it right now, though.
Yeah, he's got plenty.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Zed is really just doing good work today.
Okay, so your force missiles strike this coffin and shatter it, and one basically punches a hole into the coffin. The other punches a hole into the lid and like collapses it, and you hear this noise as a desiccated hand reaches up out of the coffin, holding on to the wall, and a corpse rises from the inside of the coffin and starts to stagger towards you. What do you all do?
Is it a skeleton
Arrow to
or
the corpse.
It is a corpse.
Ooh.
A zombie. Yeah, I'm arrowing the zombie.
Okay, roll your
Arrow.
volley.
Yep.
Are you sending in Red to assist
Yes.
this? Okay.
Red is going to assist. Oh, I didn't quite make it. Mark XP.
Mark XP.
I don't really have that good of dex, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised this hasn't been happening more often.
So what happens is that Red bites onto this creature's leg as you try to take a shot, and the creature reaches down and grabs Red by the scruff of its neck and drags it further into the cavern in this direction. You hear more groaning and then the splintering of wood. And you see the lid of the other coffin go flying and slamming into the cavern wall. What do you do?
At this point, I think Red's in more danger than Olivia or Buhamut or Zed. I would probably run around the corner and try to go ahead and stab something.
Okay, you charge down the cavern, and, well, you charge down, like, I don't even know what you would call it, tunnel, I guess. You charge down the tunnel and into the cavern, and you see one zombie standing up out of its coffin. You see the other zombie with, you said they were force bolts, right, Zed?
Yes.
With large, like, bruises in its dead flesh, and it is holding Red by the scruff of its neck. Which one do you want to attack?
The one that's holding Red.
Okay. Roll your hack and slash with your strength. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage. Okay. So let me just... Math is hard.
Also, Docs, at some point, if you ever get the opportunity, your camera looks like it's quite framey. You might want to try to turn down the resolution a little bit for
Yeah, it is fairly low FPS.
Huh. Looks kind of smooth on mine.
Yeah, I think it is going to be smooth on yours, but if it's the resolution that's a problem, it's only going to be choppy to us, probably.
Okay.
Like, probably our own cameras are all going to be totally...
Well, your camera always looks pretty good to me, Hazel.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hazel's camera's ridiculously high frame rate.
Yeah, Hazel's is really good. Mine's probably not super awesome, but whatever.
Yeah, you're a middle ground, and then Doc's is like 1 FPS. It's
Well, we can worry about that on the break, which is about to happen. And so here's what happens. So, Estrelli, you stab this creature and you cleave off one of its arms, but you don't manage to get the arm that's holding Red because that's in the back and it's out of your reach. And then the zombie that has risen up out of the coffin, it reaches up and it grabs fistfuls of your shirt and it slams you down into the coffin.
Ooh.
And with that, I think we are going to take our final break.
And if you
Okay.
had somehow managed to affix the coffin lid to like your arm or something, we would have sealed yourself in.
Yeah, pretty much. So we are going to go to our